Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. I had a special satsang with the high school students in Albany recently. And one of the questions came up: how to integrate American culture and Indian culture, or Indian culture and American culture. And I posed to those high school students, tell me what is one of the best facets of American culture. And you know what one student wrote? Dunkin' Donuts. Many of you, as soon as Meaningful Mornings is complete, you go to your professional jobs or your professional volunteering, and on the way there, you get coffee for the body. And you're asked, do you want a small or a medium or a large, an extra large? More important than coffee for your body are insights for your intellect. The most powerful part of who you are is your intellect. And the insights that are facilitated in our workshop are not to be good or even great, but these insights are to realize that we are God. The intellect is the most powerful part of who we are. But deeper than being powerful is the source of that power, which is God. If Prince Arjuna freezes, the Kauravas will kill him. If Prince Arjuna flights, as in he runs, the Kauravas will chase him and kill him. We can't resonate with the word killing, so change it to, instead of freeze and flight, what do? We escape. We escape from our responsibilities. Sometimes we do this in the long term, and that is flight. Sometimes we do this in the short term, and that is freeze. What Sri Krishna is encouraging Prince Arjuna and us to do is to fight. The word adapted for us is engage. Engage in your responsibilities. One of the Sanskrit words for this is uparama. In the previous verse, the word was uparata. And what was described is, if Prince Arjuna withdraws from this fight, he's doing this out of being a coward. For us, if we withdraw from being irresponsible and be engaged in our responsibilities, that's really us growing in courage. So sharing that again. Be engaged in your responsibilities. This is how you withdraw from a dependent joy and start to experience a independent joy. Again, reviewing the previous verse specifically. Prince Arjuna is used to being honored. I gave you examples of how naturally awesome he is. And he's used to being honored because he's lived in an honorable way. He was never afraid. He never quit. And so Sri Krishna is leveraging how he lived and what he experienced by sharing with him. You're forgetting how you lived. You're going to be dishonored. Don't allow this to happen. You should engage in your responsibilities. For us, we have lived responsibly. Meaningful Morning starts at 7:45 a.m. Eastern time, but there's so many time zones that are involved. You wouldn't be part of this workshop if you were irresponsible. You have lived responsibly. It doesn't matter what others think of you. It only matters what the wise think of you. In the case of Prince Arjuna, Acharya Bhishma is there, correct? One he loves. As you think about being irresponsible, responsible, what would the wise think of you? And remembering that, we should have the inspiration to be responsible all the way, not just today, but the responsibility of our life, which is to be independently joyous. I'm sharing all of this with you because this last section of thoughts is almost repetitive. And you'll see this more clearly in verse 36. Avacha vadanscha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantastava samarthyam tato dukkhataram nukim. I'll explain all of this quickly. Avacha vadan, words that should not be spoken. These are not words that are mean. These are words that are cruel. Bahun, many such phrases and words will be used. Vadishyanti, they'll be spoken by tava ahitaha. Hita means those who help you. Ahita, those who harm you. In other words, the people you're competing against, they are going to use words that one should never use. And for a person like you, who has lived honorably, is used to being responsible, this is going to kill you. And I've shared with all of you, for one who is great, compromising on an ideal is the worst. Nindataha tava samartyam. They will describe your courage as being flaky, as being corrupt. Tataha dukkataram nukim. What can be more painful? What can cause more suffering than such an experience? Our workshop is to try to be great and then God. And so what Sri Krishna is trying to press on Prince Arjuna is compromising is going to make you feel terrible. More terrible than you engaging in your responsibilities, however difficult that is. Verses 31 and 32. Sri Krishna's encouraging Prince Arjuna to know his responsibilities by focusing on the benefits. If you are responsible, in verse 31, this is what you were born to be and do. In verse 32, and if you live like this, you will go to heaven. For us, quietude of mind. In verse 33 to 36, the one we just completed, he shifts from benefits to costs. These are the benefits of being responsible. These are the costs of being irresponsible. In verse 33, he shares generally that you will be engaged in papa. A sin is that which makes the mind agitated, moves you away from joy. And the last three verses, 34, 35, 36, Sri Krishna is being specific that the people you love, like Acharya Bhishma, and even the people that you respect, all of the great leaders on the Kaurava side, they're not going to feel the same way about you. Put yourself in this position. Visualize the person you respect the most disrespecting you because of a choice you made. Not because of how you look or who your parents are, but a choice you made. And specifically, a choice that was not in accordance with your evolution. You devolved because of your choice. That would hurt you the most. And even if you make this so relative, when you hear gossip about you, gossip from someone who's superficial, still it pricks you a little bit, correct? In verse 37, Sri Krishna comes back to benefits. He summarizes no responsibility in the next verse. And this shows what a psychologist Sri Krishna is. He started with benefits, went into costs, but didn't leave it there. He came back to benefits. And that's how we're supposed to communicate and teach. Number one, through love. If one doesn't learn through love, you teach them through fear. But finally, you have to come back to love, yes? From inspiration to application. Your recent application was about joining the yoga challenge. We are all learning about yoga. This will be quite clear when we get to verse 40. But there's a difference between learning about yoga and living yoga. Many of us who are part of Chinmay Mission or part of a mandir, on Sundays, I'm sure you chant Tana Mana Dhana Sab Kuch Tera, correct? And how many times do you chant that? 50 times a year. But if you've chanted it once and you're living this, then there's no need to chant this again. I'm again encouraging all of you to register for the yoga challenge. It is to will your dhana. Over 21 weeks, this will be $750. If I gave you $750 right now to buy whatever you want, what will you buy? An Apple Watch? You'll take a short vacation? And how long will that last? But imagine helping a charity that needs help, like a food bank or a women's shelter. Then, do you have to walk 5 kilometers a day? Do you like this background? Think about where Bhagavad Gita is being taught. Is it being taught in a corporate office? It's being taught in this huge open field. Be in nature and walk. You can exercise, you can bike, it doesn't matter. And most importantly, is for you to write. Write 5 pages a day about your questions, your reflections, your meaningful repetition. The culmination of the yoga challenge will be on October 16th when we try to move for 21 kilometers. why I'm fond of long distance running. What do you do for more than 2 hours straight without shifting into another activity? All that you and I do is sleep, but we don't know we're doing that. With long distance running, imagine the steadiness, sincerity, stamina that is needed to do the same action for more than 2 hours. So remember, this is not about moving the body. It's about quietening the mind. We're approaching 100 seekers who are part of this challenge. Please do so. Your application for this morning, we're now getting into a series of verses that transition the subject of chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita and really the forthcoming chapters. And so I want you to organize your notes. Be ready for completing one subject and moving into another subject. I keep reviewing the frameworks of these verses for you. I hope this is clearer for you. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be happiness.